especially if you want to stay involved with us. It is one of the best deals we ever made. www.fmt2021.com is the registration. The webinar is today, Thursday. Webinar. I can't type, so forgive me. 4:30 Eastern Time. Okay. Now, tomorrow morning, we have the last two family money trades of the week. And I'm not going to tell you all what's going on next week. Yet. Not yet. All right. Welcome to the Natural Gas Storage Report. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. I'm going to record this. So I now have 3 webcams. It's a lot of fun. I love fooling around with webcams. All right, so my name is Lee Goldstein, Trading Director at 10-Minute Trades. Remember, of course, that all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. Please trade carefully. Now, just a quick question. The audio, is it very, very loud or is it okay? And then I want to ask you a chart sharing question. It's loud. Yeah, I think when I listen, there's one headset that I use that seems to be really loud, unusually loud. It's echoey. Yeah, it shouldn't be echoey. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, I've got to find, I'm always searching for the perfect headset. They don't exist. They don't exist. Here's the problem. And I know this doesn't really matter. You're not here to worry about this. But I'm going to turn my webcam on and let me show you the way I like to do things. I mean, it's no big deal. It's just a little bit of insight into the stupid stuff I have to deal with above and beyond trading, which I suppose is why some people can't do this. Now, I like doing this, so it's like it's not an issue for me. I mean, the fact that I have to deal with headsets and goof around with technology, I don't mind that. And it doesn't, very honestly, it does not distract me from my trading. Let me see if you can see this. Tell me, you're going to see me, a big face. Can you see this little thing? If I hold it up, see that thing? Whoops. I think it's a tiny little headset. That's what I really want to use. I'm using this stupid headset. It goes, it just bothers me. I don't like it. And it doesn't sound that good. All right. Now, when I use the little one, the little teeny one, I don't think it sounds quite as good. And I would buy one if I could find one. I can't find a really good one online. The best one I have, it's medium. It's not incredible. And, Plantronics doesn't make one. I'm using one from a company called MPAL, and they got banned from selling on Amazon because they were asking people to leave fake reviews. They were bribing people to leave fake reviews on Amazon by giving them discounts. So they got banned from Amazon, but they happen to make really good products. So they were so stupid. They're probably on Amazon with a different name anyway. They probably immediately created a new company. And they're on Amazon with a different name. I mean, it's such a crazy world we live in. But, if it's illegal for a company, not illegal, but it's against Amazon's policies for a company to ask you to leave a review in exchange for a discount on a product, obviously. Here's last week's Here's last week's natural gas report. Now that last week, the daily report says it was a stop out. Now we do have a couple of people that trade natural gas live in the room. We have been trading it off and on all year. Every now and then we trade it, every now and then we don't. Now that looked to me like a stop out. Does anybody have a journal of what they did last week? Even though my simulator says it made money, that was not necessarily a good trade. And you can tell because it was a whippy, kind of like a whipsaw. Let me look at my notes. Last week, so my notes in my journal, super whippy reaction, not sure how live people made money. I think it was tremendously just total luck if you made money last week. The analysis says it was a stop out, okay? The analysis says it was a stop out. The point is, it was not a good, reliable result. Okay, Israel was here last week, and he says it was a stop. Now, when Israel, you have to keep in mind, I don't think Israel is trading with our software. When I talk about stops and winners, I'm strictly referring to whether or not someone used our setup with our software, because that I have to make a judgment on our reports. You follow me? So in other words, I think it's great if someone comes into the room, trades their own method using our information, which tons of people do. Lots of people come here. They trade, here's 2 weeks ago, they trade their own method using some of our ideas or just listening in the room. My point being, but when I'm judging losses and wins, it has to be whether or not it was using our software with our setups, because that's what the DMM reflects. Okay? And Israel, you know I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying I'm happy if you're, enjoying being here and trading because of what we're doing. 2 weeks ago, it looks like it was a good trade, and that's what my notes verify that. You love me. You should absolutely come to my webinar today. If you're not a member, folks, I don't like selling in the room. I'm telling you the truth. I don't like selling in the room. But we are making the best deal we've ever made for new members ever. And that's the truth, Israel. I know that that's true. There's a lot of junk out there. And look, sometimes we struggle. We're not perfect. Here's 3 weeks ago. But I really believe if you stay with our system, right now the markets are trading well. I should have traded this morning, and I should be less jumpy in trades. I have not traded well this week, in my opinion. I turned an API winner into a tiny winner by not being patient. ISM, we traded fine. Both ISMs, we made a little bit of money. They were both family money trades. API was family money. Every trade made money this week. That was a family money trade. Unless I'm missing something, I'll go through the records. ADP was a small winner, not because we did anything wrong. That one I traded fine. I protected my profit, and it reversed. You can't do anything about that. FOMC, not a family money trade. Did not do anything wrong, just didn't make money because the NQ reversed. No bad trading or any mistakes on that. The bond portion of the trade made money. The NQ lost. October 14th, natural gas. Willie, here's a link to register for the webinar. Hey, Willie, did I just send you an email? I think I just sent you an email with the registration. You were asking me about the software. That was you, right? Yeah, I sent it to you, but here it is again. I answered your email about half an hour ago. So 4 weeks ago, October 14th, looked like a perfect natural gas trade. Sometimes a trade can move so fast, okay, that you don't hit all your targets. But my notes don't say anything negative about that trade. That looked like a good winner on the 14th. If anybody has any comments, if they traded live. So you see the link, Israel. I just typed it in, fmt2021.com. That's the registration. And then before the 14th, we've got October 7th, natural gas. I think October 7th was difficult. Let's see. It looked tradable. Let me see what my notes are. It was pretty fast moving. October 7th, natural gas barely hit the first target. People struggled to get 5 ticks that day. People struggled to get 5 ticks on October 7th. All right. Let's look at last week one more time. I want to look at last week again. Now we have time, so what I'm going to do, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Let's look at last week. I was going to change my mic because I think this mic really stinks. Okay, here's last week again. And you can see a really difficult looking trade. Like if you're running a simulation, right, or a replay, and you see a reaction like this, watch this. It gives you a heads up. If you learn to recognize the reactions, you'll learn what trade had a high probability of being difficult to make money on. Watch. It's a reaction that you can't tell what happened. First of all, you have a total whipsaw. Total whipsaw. You have a big wick up, a big wick down. That means you probably got filled on one side and stopped out on the other side in a second. Okay? Learn to recognize that as a bad trade. Now, sometimes a person can make money on that trade because it's so whippy and so out of control. Everybody will get filled at a different place. The software most probably won't be able to keep up with the market move. No software can. It's not that there's something wrong with our software. When you get a market move that crazy, it doesn't work. Now look at that compared to a good move. Okay, let's look at a good move. Because you want to be able to recognize when you're doing your research, you want to recognize a good move versus a bad move. So that if you're doing a replay, you have a good feeling that a test you're doing is positive. That is a good looking move. It's fast, but it's not so fast that it's out of control, right? It goes in one direction generally, right? Okay. That's what a good looking trade looks like. Now, doesn't mean that you can't, sometimes the market moves in a way that you can't see all the moves with the naked eye. Couple of things to remember. If you're trading with us and you're trading live with Ninja Trader, go to New, go to Ninja Script Output, and that'll open usually a blank chart, what looks like a blank chart. Minimize it. Always have that output in any Ninja Trader workspace that you're trading. Now save your workspace so that that chart, Ninja Trader output, Ninja Script output, is always a part of your chart, your trading workspace. Okay, mine is, okay? The reason for that is if you have a difficult trade, and you don't know what happened. And it happens. Sometimes a move will be so fast you won't know what happened. You could call up the Ninja script output and cut and paste, copy and paste, not cut, copy and paste the data inside this screen, okay? All of it. And you can send it to us and we could get it analyzed, okay? Sometimes a trade will just go haywire. It'll go awry and you can't tell what happened. Now, if we know what happened, I'm not going to do the analysis. Sometimes I know from experience what happened, even though you don't believe me. Sometimes a market just moves so fast, it creates a chaotic trade. That's just reality. Nothing you can do about it. But sometimes there's other things that happen also. The way you can really see great market movement, in other words, movement that you might not notice with the naked eye. If you go to data series, and create a range chart, type range, and make it a value of 1, okay? Apply it and okay it. If you look at a range chart, a 1 range chart, it shows you every move the market made, every little tick in nanoseconds, okay? Now, some people like to use a very small tick chart for that. Some people use a 1-second chart. We have found we use a 1 range. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to analyze the market in a way that you see fit. You don't have to do it the exact way that I do it. But our experience is that the range, 1 range, is the best. Okay, that's what we use. But you could use a 1-second chart. But when you use a 1-second chart, the 1-second chart, in my opinion, doesn't show as much. It's very good, but it doesn't show as much as a range chart. Now, some people like a tick chart. You could use a very, very low value tick chart also. All right. The importance of that is if there's a move that's so crazy, it gives you a way to look at that move and see what happened. Okay. You can see what happened. So that's what we're saying here. Now, natural gas had a pretty lousy trade last week. A lot of people would have been stopped out if they traded it. Excuse me. And we've gone through a period, natural gas for the past 1.5 years. By the way, we are streaming live on YouTube. And I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Give us a couple of likes, please. And come to our webinar later also. And most of you are in the room this week because you could have gone to freetraderoom.com and come into the room for the rest of the week. So YouTube, if you're listening, if you type freetraderoom.com, you can get into the trade room tomorrow morning for the jobs report. It's the best way to watch the jobs report. All right, so I'm checking my time sync while I'm yakking in the background here. I'm checking my time sync also. But I was saying that natural gas got stopped last week. For all purposes, all practical purposes, in our opinion, natural gas had a bad reaction last week. It doesn't often have multiple bad reactions in a row. I was saying that it was trading very well through this whole world crisis, right? And then we had a couple of terrible natural gas trades. I mean, terrible. Trades that make you want to stop trading the news if you're not able to deal with reality. I mean, the reality is, if you take the risk on natural gas, my time is in sync. I went to the website time.is to check my sync. If you are willing to trade natural gas, then you have to assume the risk. You have to assume the reality that natural gas might go crazy. When I say go crazy, it might do a triple whipsaw. It might leave you in the trade. You don't know. Natural gas can be the devil. It just is what it is. It's what natural gas, every now and then, it can really ding your account. But if you have 24 out of 27 winning natural gas trades, you can survive that. Okay? And honestly, natural gas for the past 18 months has been trading pretty well. Most probably, you have to be willing to trade at least 2 contracts on it if you're going to trade it all the time. Now, I'm still not sure that natural gas is back to normal. Do not let the DMM lull you into thinking that natural gas is great. We went over the reports, and you see how sometimes it's hard to tell just from analysis what actually happened in a natural gas trade. It does seem that it's trading better again, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to trade 1 contract today, looking for 10 ticks of profit. That's all. 1 contract, looking for 10 ticks. I'm going to trade it live, and I'm risking 15 ticks because that's our stop. That's what I have to risk if I'm willing to trade natural gas according to our setup. Now, I'm modifying our setup to reduce my risk. I'm not willing to risk $300 by trading multiple contracts today. Now, maybe our new account is going to be set up on Monday completely. Everything's going to be back to normal. We have new accounts. We wanted to do some new things for the end of the year with our family money account. And no, we're not changing the money, the amount of money to hide anything. We funded our account with pretty much the exact amount of money that should be in the account. In fact, it's got less money than what it should have for family money trades. In other words, we funded the account before this week's trades, and we're up a little bit more than what's in the account. And that affects our percentage of profit when we're doing a webinar and showing you the profit. So we're actually cheating against ourselves, okay? We never cheat the other way. I won't do that. I don't want to be part of anything that's not 100% transparent. The point I'm trying to make is we've been flipping our accounts around and we're getting them straight and reset up. We have new brokers and some other things going on just for the end of the year. But we had to go through 1 week where we couldn't trade live. It was a great week too. We missed a ton of really good trades. We missed that great 20-year bond auction. It was like $1,000 trade. I think Josh made $1,500 on that bond trade, if I remember. Anyway, I'm rambling. Natural gas, trading 1 contract live, bracket of 5, looking for 10 ticks, risking 15 because that's the stop you need to use. Entry time is 10:29:59. Why am I willing to trade it today? I'm willing to trade it today because natural gas had what I believe is a stop out last week, or a bad reaction, okay, had a bad reaction. And it's possible that we might get a good reaction today. I might get stopped out and lose $500. That happened to me on that horrible natural gas trade. That horrible natural gas trade really, really dinged us, okay? Mark is predicting a move to the upside. Natural gas pretty bullish today already. Pretty bullish already. This is our last room for the day, and then tomorrow we end the week with two family trades. You could trade one or the other. I'm going to probably trade both at the same time. And we're going to have a presentation very soon in the trade room talking about the squeeze reversal. All right. One of our members has a method of doing a squeeze reversal. I have a riskier way of doing it. His way takes a little bit of extra safety into account, and we're going to teach it. Because a lot of people want to do some trading after the news, and there's other things that we're working on also. There's, we never stop looking for tools, things that can help us do better, and passing that info along when we can. So now we're just waiting. Remember, we already checked our time sync. Our sync was good, right? My sync was good. I'm listening to Financial Juice in the background in case the news doesn't show up on the website. Investing.com, they're expecting 63 billion cubic feet of natural gas. So usually if there's more gas around, there will be a push down. If there's less gas around, there might be a push up. Less gas is called a drawdown. More gas is called a build. One second before the news, we put our orders on the chart, okay? I think my charts are spread a little bit wide. My bracket might be a little big, we'll see. I'd rather have a big bracket than a too small. When the bracket's too small, you can't see. Okay, so I had to close that out. I lost about, that was an insane natural gas move. Now that was bad luck. All my orders are closed, okay? All my orders are closed. I'll reboot my platform. I've done this a million times. My orders are closed. It was a matching news report, and it cost me. Because the news was matching, it cost me, okay? And I lost about $300 on that trade. It whipped crazily because it was matching news. That's the risk you take. That's the risk I took. It was such a fast move, Mark, that depending what time your orders were put on the chart, that would really depend on whether or not you could get filled. My order probably didn't get on the chart fast enough. It didn't get on the chart fast enough. That's what sometimes happens. It was just too fast. And that's the risk of natural gas. And I knew that risk going in. Okay. I knew the risk going in and I took the shot. I took the shot. All right. So I'm not going to cry in the corner because I took that shot. But I'm going to trade natural gas next week because that's two bad reactions in a row, as far as I'm concerned. And it's so rare that it'll happen again. It is so rare that it's very probable I'll have a winning natural gas trade next week. So that's why I don't lose sleep and I don't worry if I have a bad trade, because I know that our reports are going to take care of me down the road. Okay? Down the road, I know that I'm going to be okay. And look, this was a trade you don't have to trade. It's not a family money trade, but it is a trade that, in my opinion, today was worth the risk. It didn't work, but today I don't mind taking the risk. Let's look at the video because you could see why it didn't work. If you analyze the news, it was exactly as expected. That almost always causes a crazy reaction. Not always. Now, I wasn't paying attention. I apologize, because there was a potential squeeze reversal. So I'll talk about that when we watch the video. Let's watch the video. Let's learn something from this and understand why you may not want to trade natural gas. Okay? You don't see that happen very often on other trades, but we've been seeing it on natural gas way too often in the past 2 months. That's like the third time natural gas has done that, probably in the last 2 months. That's why I'm only willing to trade one contract. There's too much risk, too much risk. Let's watch the video. So here's what happened, and I'll show you the squeeze signal, the way you can start thinking about the squeeze signal. So watch the left side. That's my trade that doesn't work, okay? And it's too bad because it looked like, well, let's see what it looked like. It looked like just an explosion to the upside, but it wasn't, okay? It wasn't. Now, the reason I say that, it wasn't an explosion to the upside because it filled me short, okay? I was filled short. I was filled short. You can see that right there. I'm short. I'm not long. So what happened is you didn't see it with the naked eye, but price went down first. Price went down 5 ticks first before it went up, okay? Before it went up. And some people made money also. And remember what I said, when a trade is so fast and crazy, there's no guarantee people are going to get filled in a similar fashion, okay? You just may not. You just may not. That was when I was rebooting. So unfortunately, I was rebooting when the squeeze signal took place. Let's see if it was too late or not. I think it was too late, so you'll have to wait for the presentation. Well, I mean, right as we came back into the room, there already was a possible short signal on that squeeze. Okay, if you're see the momentum is going up, here's the way we can explain it. Look at the momentum going down on the squeeze where my cursor is. Forget what time it is. It doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. So you have theoretically a downward move, and then the momentum changes color and it changes the amount of momentum. It's less. So we have a color change and a shrinking momentum to the other side. It's actually up, but we're not going to say that. We don't care. So you have downward momentum, then it changes to the upside and the bar is smaller, that's a potential long signal reversal. Okay? Look at it here after the trade. All right? Now you don't have another signal until here. Okay? Until here. Now I like preferably to have the candle, I think, agree in color. If the candle's green, I might not take a short. Okay? So here, now you've got, now I'm sorry, that was still before the trade, 10:30 trade. Here we're after the trade, right? Momentum's moving down, 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 down. It changes right here to the upside. Candle is green, potential change in direction. Maybe a potential reversal there. That's how I use the squeeze signals. Now here was today, right after the trade. You have a big burst to the upside, very hard to enter. Not, some people might enter on that burst to the opposite side, just as a way of taking a short. But you have a blinking, the bar is not fully formed yet, very fast move to the downside. Would not have been easy to catch that reversal, okay? Would not have been easy. And you want to see, does it follow through? Yes, it does. So even if you had a bad entry, it still followed through. You got to use at least a 20 tick stop, on natural gas. You have to. At least a 20 tick stop. Okay. So that's what it was today. So that's our last room. I did just a normal. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Blessing. So that's just bad luck. Bad luck. It happens. It'll happen again, and we'll have great trades. There will be great trades also. So you just can't. No corner crawling for me. No corner crawling. All right. You know the deal. Tomorrow morning we have U.S. jobs and Canadian jobs. And for anyone that's not a member, definitely come to the webinar today. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And next week, we've got a whole bunch of family money trades next week. Here's the webinar link. Yes, Cesar, I was sold. Natural gas was sold. Now, if you want to see why, if you all sit tight for a second, Charles, here's the webinar link to register for everybody. If you're not a member, you will become a member today. I bet you. I'll bet you. It's an amazing deal. So if we look, remember what we said, let's look at a range trade, right? Let's look at a range chart. Let's look at a range chart. So let's make one, because I don't know if I have one. Let me make one. Data series. I'm going to put my charts on Sim so I don't accidentally put myself in a trade while I'm teaching, showing you this. Data series. I'm going to create a range chart. Type range 1, not 4. I'm going to use 1. You can choose the instrument if you want. Natural gas 1221. Apply it. Okay, that's all. Oh, you know what? I goofed. My goof. Let me do it over. My mistake. Let me fix this. I don't know what the heck I did. Let me fix it. Hang on. Let me make a new chart. Get my normal chart back. Let me just get my minute chart back to normal. Okay. What the heck? Where the heck is my chart? Hang on. Okay. It's on my other monitor. Okay, here's my natural gas chart. So what I do when I create a chart, just since I'm showing anyway, I go to properties and I make my margin like 100. And that way the margin is off the side. And then you turn on the chart trader with that weird little logo. And there's my chart trader. Now my chart is relatively normal. And I said I wanted to look at a one range chart. So go to data series. I'm going to convert this chart momentarily into a one range chart. And we're going to go back to the time of the trade. Okay. But see how you can see every little move? Now, if I make the chart live, we'll see my orders. We should see my orders if we go back to 10:30. Let's go back to 10:30. Yeah, there's my orders. You can start seeing them now. Now, when you create a chart, it doesn't show you money initially. I'll show you what to do in a second. I'm going back to 10:30. I want to find, remember, my orders went on at 10:59:59. Now, remember, it looked like it was just a burst up, right? It looked like only a burst up. But in fact, it put me in the market short because the time that my order went on the chart was 53 and it went down 8 ticks that you couldn't see with the naked eye. That's what got me stopped out. That's what got Cesar stopped out. But you can see that downward move on the range chart. See it? It's right there. It's right there. 8 ticks. My orders were placed on the chart at 59, in between those two bars, okay? And then, of course, it had a beautiful move to the upside. And I was stopped out, unfortunately, okay? Bad luck. Bad luck. A move you couldn't see, which is what happens with natural gas. It could happen with any instrument. It can. The other thing I put on my charts, just if you want your charts to be similar to mine, indicator, ninja, part of ninja, current day, open, high, low, apply it, and pivots. I use the Ninja Trader pivots. I also use the VWAP. I always forget how to put it on. Order flow cumulative delta, I think. That's not the right one, I don't think. I'll mess with it later. I forgot which one I do. Is it profile or delta? Sessions. Oh my God, I don't remember. So I'll mess with it later. I'll look at my other chart. I forgot, it's been so long, and I'll show you. But the two main things that I do, I don't really care about my moving averages. I have the open, high, low. I've got pivots, and then we use the squeeze. The squeeze is not part of Ninja. If you're a Futures.io member, you can get it off of Futures.io. There are squeezes that are out there that are available. Our squeeze you can usually find for free. Nothing wrong with it. And I use the squeeze, and I have a template, a default template on the squeeze. Let me put it, I screwed up. So indicator, TTM, the squeeze, and then I have a template. It should be there called default. There it is. It just sets my colors the way I like them. Now, if you load the squeeze and it looks like that, there's a bug in the squeeze indicators. Go back to indicators, highlight the squeeze you're using, and scroll down to where you see auto scale. Whatever auto scale is, change it. If it's unchecked, check it, apply it, watch it fix the squeeze. Squeeze is fixed. Wally, you're giving me the info on the VWAP. It's order flow VWAP. Thank you. I always forget. You have to be a lifetime Ninja owner. And then standard deviation bands goes to none, I believe. And then the VWAP is green. I don't like it green. I like it thick. And we can make it dark orange for now. That gives me the VWAP line, I believe, somewhere. That's my VWAP line. Let me just change that color. Change the color. Let's make it dark red. See if that works. Okay, I'm not seeing the color I want, but that's okay. I'll fix it later. But so open, high, low, and pivots are the two main things I use. And then I also use the margin to the right. I make it 100. And then, you know, if you want to put EMAs and SMAs, you know, you can do that too. I don't use that many of them for what I'm doing here. So everybody, I will see. The other thing you can do is when your charts don't show you the money after a trade, right click the control panel, go to properties, and show realized profit and loss when flat, check it. Apply it, and then it shows you money made or lost. The money's there, okay? And then save your workspace. So it saves your changes. All right, any last questions? Don't forget the webinar later. I'll see everybody later. And otherwise, I'll see you in the trade room tomorrow morning. I'll be here 5 minutes to 8. I'll probably be early tomorrow morning. Okay? So I'll see everybody later and tomorrow. Charles, thank you, and I'll see you in the webinar. Otherwise, I'll see everybody in the morning for U.S. jobs. Okay? Family money trade and Canada jobs. Okay, later. So long, folks.